All right, good afternoon. So here under the camera you have a 6" by 6" square of orange. You can see that I was cutting on a diagonal on a yellow sheet and also on a pink sheet to get the biggest heart shape possible out of that 6" by 6" piece of paper. And that's a good thing because we want to start big when we construct. I'm going to fold this orange piece of paper in half, but I'm going to do it along the diagonal. This diagonal line that goes upper right to lower left is longer, that fold is longer than a vertical fold would be or a horizontal. And with a longer center fold, then I can have a bigger shape. So I'm going to close that up again. Here's my shape that I'm going to draw on. And I'm going to make a U-turn. I'm going to make a rounded shape here and turn around and come back the way I started. Started this way, swung back around, make a U-turn, and there's the point of the heart down there at the bottom. Notice how I started drawing on the fold and I stopped on the fold. Now here come my scissors, and I'm going to start on the fold and stop on the fold. With a straight cut like right here, if I wish to make this portion of the heart straight, I can use kind of the full length of the scissors, closing them entirely or nearly so as I make each cut. That's a great way to make a straight cut. But as I approach this curve right here, I'm going to have to use less and less of the full length of the blade when I cut. I'm going to nibble instead of making a full long cut. So here I go, starting to nibble. Notice that this finger, the thumb and the forefinger, or the pointer finger rather, of my left hand are really holding on to the paper tightly to control the cut. Every time I open the scissors just a little bit, I push forward into the next cut. Watch, I stop cutting when I need to reposition my thumb and my finger, my pointer finger, here behind the blades, and continue to nibble, nibble, nibble. I can even turn the paper into the scissor blade as I nibble, and that will help me to retain, or I'm sorry, create that very nice round cut. So this is the cut, nice smooth edge that you're looking for. If you make cuts like this, it's not exactly smooth. So let me show you how to polish that up, how to clean that up. Close the paper again. Let's come around this way, and I'm going to nibble, nibble, nibble right underneath that kind of blocky mistake there. Again, switch position of my fingers. It's a very small nibbly cut, and there it is. I corrected that mistake, and once again, I have this nice smooth curve. Now, I'm going to show you another trick. What if I want to make super small detailed cuts, and that involves super small tight curves? Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a very tiny heart cut right there, very, very small. And instead of nibbling, I'm going to close the scissor blade slowly as I turn the paper into the slowly closing blades. And in doing so, I have a very small heart space there and a very small heart right there. You can actually make them quite a bit smaller than this if you'd like to. Cutting out of the center of a heart does weaken it. It's not as strong as it used to be, but it's not weakened too very much. So I could certainly still use this heart and even this heart later on. What if I want to make a larger heart shape cut out of this yellow heart? Well, again, I can start by nibbling, as I often do. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Repositioning my hands, my thumb and my forefinger if I need to. Now this is very intriguing. This is interesting. I have this heart shape, which I can use, and I also have this one hollowed out. Now you see how weak that is. If I were to use that to construct with, it wouldn't hold very much weight unless I used another heart, a more solid heart, say this orange one that I just cut, for greater strength. So perhaps the yellow one could be glued down to the orange one. The orange one would give the yellow one greater strength, so I could actually use both in my design. There's nothing wrong with that. When you create your construction, you're going to be building on a tripod base like this. There's going to be 3 feet, tri means 3, and pod means foot. Now I'm going to place that down, and you see the 2 purple hearts that I've attached retain their bends. They are still bent, not just folded, but bent. And that's important because those bends in that heart give it strength, give it rigidity. Now I'm going to glue this yellow heart to this purple one right here. And you notice I use a very small amount of glue. Dot, dot, not a lot, not a single big spot. That's maybe something you learned in elementary school, and it still holds true today. Glue has a lot of water in it. Water and paper do not get along, therefore try to use as little glue as possible, knowing that too much glue makes the paper look kind of wrinkly and soggy and yucky. So we don't want to use too much glue because that indicates we don't know how to use the right amount of glue, okay? Holding that heart onto the yellow heart onto the purple heart, you see it's attached. You notice the bend is still in the yellow heart, the bend is still in the purple heart. We have another purple heart over here. Now, if this gets a little heavy on this side and starts to fall over, it means I have to go to the opposite side to add some additional weight. What I might do, since I've mentioned doing it, is take this yellow heart with a small amount of glue, just a few small dots, spread that one out, attach it to my orange heart, and then because the orange heart gives the yellow heart greater strength, see that little bit of glue that I had on the end of my finger? I'm going to place that on the purple heart right here. That's all you need. That small little piece of glue, that small little bit of glue holds the orange and yellow heart onto the purple heart, and there you go. Now that's starting to fall again to one side. I'm going to have to add additional weight over here. So let's do that. You can understand why this becomes an engineering problem. There's my very small amount of glue on my pink heart. We know where to add the additional weight over here on this side. Since the piece was falling this way, I go to the other side and counterbalance the piece by putting additional weight on the other side. The word counter means to go against, to work against. So I'm going to counterbalance the orange and the yellow and the purple with the pink over here, and you can see that that one pink heart does a fairly good job keeping everything steady and standing up straight. Your piece, as you build it up and out in every direction, every heart should have a bend in it, not just a fold, but a bend. And I want you to see if you can build it up to 12 inches, that's a whole foot, and also if you can build it out this way 8 inches, and this way 8 inches. Now, remembering that you're looking at it from many different directions, each direction should be somewhat interesting for the viewer to look at. When you're done and you have a favorite viewpoint, you'll take your photograph from that viewpoint. Your piece, when it's ready to go home, like mine is right now, should fold flat for easy transportation and storage. That's also very important. So don't have glue all over the place. If glue is everywhere and it all sticks together, it will be a very hard thing to make it stand up again straight and tall without tearing it all apart, trying to get the glue unfastened, okay? So that, in a nutshell, is your heart assignment. No concept drawing, just the construction, lots and lots of hearts. Make sure they're big to start with. Practice your nibble technique. Make sure your edges are nicely controlled. Make sure you use limited amount of glue, and you will be fine. Now, you try.